Peekaboo. She's right in my shot. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we're gonna go try to bale up and wrap some of that sorghum, and that's what's happening on Ranching SoDak. Check out this bad boy I found on Facebook Marketplace. I have never even heard of this one this size before. 63,000 RS is what the book said. 63 joules. So to put that in terms, perspective, I think like one of those little solar ones, a couple of joules, maybe, like that. So this is 63, so do the math on there, almost like 1.5 million times more.
Yeah.
See you later. Anyway, it's a big fencer, it's a 220, so she's a big one. From my studies, I'm gonna need to put like 28 ground rods in to fully get that thing grounded. Stick around, we're gonna get that thing hooked up one of these days. Alrighty, got her all greased up. Now what, famous oil check? What are we gonna check this time? This one? Come on, Matt, it's not funny anymore. We know you check the oil when we're not looking. Actually, I just gave this old girl a fresh change. Tire tanks. If you guys need a tire tank, get a hold of me. We're gonna order another semi-load, different sizes and whatnot, so let me know if you need something. I can get it this far anyway. If you're in Minnesota, it'd save you quite a bit of trip from going way out western North Dakota. Hit me up. My phone's in the description, down in the more button and by the video there. So if you're gonna do the bale wrapping, which that's what we're gonna do with this because it's gonna be super wet, been cut a couple 3 days, but you're gonna want to put your bales, you're gonna want to make them smaller. 52 is what I kind of shoot for. In a 52-inch bale at 40% moisture or 50 or whatever this is gonna be, that bale is probably going to still weigh, you know, 1,800 to 1,900 pounds, 2,000 pounds if it's really wet. And then the wrapper likes it a little bit smaller because that plastic has to get around it. I don't know that I've ever had a video of us wrapping hay yet, so we will show you that. But we have an Anderson inline, which they call, you set the bales on and it pushes the bale down in and the wrap goes around it and it walks away from itself. Anyways, enough talking. Let's see if we can make a bale and we'll get out and give her a little feel, huh? See how wet she really is. You want to go a little bit slower than normal so it gets good and packed. Gets the air out of it. We'll see what she looks like. I can usually tell just when you dump the bale out of the baler how much weight's in that baler when the bale falls out and the door kicker hits it. And this didn't seem extremely wet. And the first part of this was a lot of water hemp and grass, so yeah. It's actually dried down a lot more than I thought. Bale only weighs 1,200 pounds at 52 inches. I think it's going to get wetter. Oh boy. I'm really surprised how much it's dried down. Soybeans have really dried down nice. All right, I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger. I'm gonna go to 54. We'll bale a while. Well, I did the first 3 rows here, and then I did the along the highway, and I got 34 bales. I think I'm actually gonna leave these 3 windrows and go get Filbur, the merger. They've dried down and they've lightened up tremendously after 3 days of wilting. So it'd be interesting to see if I could merge this now and put 2 of those, the outside 2, onto the middle one for my swath grazing plan. I want to experiment with that and then see how that feed compares to when we're going to wait as long as we can to do the rest. I don't know, maybe it's better to cut it early and pile it up. So I'm going to have a few tests. Well, I got to dump the bale in here, and then I'm going to go across the road I did down and back across there. There's maybe a dozen or 15 bales over there. So we'll have about 50, right around 50 bales to wrap. Then we'll go get the wrapper and get somebody in a bale fork and start bringing these up. I'm going to wrap them right here in the field, and then I'm going to feed them right back out in the field. So after they ferment, right before I feed them, I'm going to cut the bag open and set them out as a bale grazing grid and just give them all 50 bales at once. or whatever. This has got a bunch of water hemp in this field. I don't want to take it to another field and feed it. I'm just going to feed it right back where it is, so not really causing more problems per se. Had to put some twine in. This field here is the one across the road, and it was planted before we had a bunch of rain, and then I got it sprayed right before the stuff emerged. So this one is fairly clean and it's really thick. This one's got a lot more tonnage over here. Same everything, but yeah, look at the tractor sitting there, and there's the stuff. So I don't know what I'm doing, but it's kind of fun to grow this stuff, I guess. There's a tremendous amount of tonnage out here, and I really like the soybean part of it. This one's a dwarf one because he's really small and no heads, but you know, these soybeans are just massive in here. They've vined up and tipped over. The soybean plant is way over there, but he vined up way here and then he vined back down. There's all kinds of soybeans in there, which is your protein. So it'd be really kind of fun to test this stuff. I don't know, this is probably 11 feet tall, this stuff, 10.5 to 11 feet right here. Crazy stuff. And this is after 5.5 tons of rye. We chopped 5.5 tons of rye an acre off of this. And if I would have fertilized it, I probably could have got 6, 7, 8 tons. You know, we're crowding 20 tons per acre off of these acres this year with 2 crops. Probably 20 tons. Seed wise, you know, I had like $18 worth of seed last year and about $35 to $40 a seed this year. So I mean, we're under $50 in seed costs for 20 tons. I think we ended up with, well, I left those 3 long windrows, which would have been about 24 bales, but I think I got 52. So we had cut about nearly 70 some bales. But anyways, we got to go rouse the troops. I guess it's just one little trooper. There she is right now. Ready to work? She's been doing nothing, she said. Huh. I guess I should have gave her some more things to do when I left. Anyways, we'll get the skid steer, pick up jumper cables, maybe some wrap. We'll start wrapping. Sparky wants to show you her little thing. Go, what do you got there? Tear it up, Sparky. Tear it up. What do you got? Let me see it. Should I give it a toss? Oh yeah. There you go. You're big into belts and rubber strips now, huh? Sure you are. Get out of here! Ooh, that's enough horseplay. Get a nice little cool one. Like to keep your edge, huh, guys? Bud Zero, no alcohol. Gave that up back in March of 1998. All right, let's grab some wrap. All you new wrappers people, this thing's got a little Honda engine on it. Runs, it's all hydraulic, runs an orbit or a hydraulic pump. Everything's ran hydraulically on this thing. It's fairly kind of does all of its own things, you know, once you get it rolling, but it's not perfect. You got to watch it. It's an old enough one that doesn't have a lot of the safety deals on it like the new ones. First bale started. I set one up on here, so this one's going to hit this one, and then we'll lower them both off the ramp, and then we'll lower the ramp down. When you bring a new bale on, it trips that trigger right there, which then activates the process, starts to push. This thing gets tripped, which turns the hoop on, and then away we go. It's on the other side. Put another bale on there. And the other thing you got to do, especially with really coarse bales, can you see how the swirl on this thing is? They're all sticking up on this side, and they're all pointing down on this side. Well, we got to grab it from this side because we want the plastic's going to be coming around over here. So we want the plastic to come over and lay right with all these pokies that now if the plastic was coming this way on those really dry stocky bales, all them stalks are pointing like this and they would just keep ripping your plastic. So you got to pick these bales up the one way and put them on the wrapper. Well, I brought her home because we're going to get the gray pickup. This one's got all the tools and stuff in it, but I lost my power steering and my belt fell off. What's up with that? Yeah. All right, we'll work on that later. Let's go. How about a good old epic time lapse? Sassy Pants is going to go get them with the pickup. It'll be a lot faster than using a tractor. So she's going to buzz to the other end, then she can grab a bale or two and bring them back. I'll just keep working from this end and she'll work from that end. So here this plastic broke. I'm not sure, I don't see anything poking out, but so what you got to do then is you got to shut your hoop off, activate it here. Now we can turn this back on real slow like. Grab this. See anything wrong with the reel, or I mean with the roll. So that's good. Shut this off and then set this back. We'll probably have to readjust it after we put a bale on. So we got a little hole there now. It's right at where the bales start, the edges, you know, that's where all the sticky stuff is sticking out. And that's what got us. I don't know, but I thought I was watching, I thought I was ripping, but then when I got off, they were both still going. So somehow, miraculously, it kept going. All right, you kind of guys get the idea. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Grass one you can use at the end, so I can go get it or you can bring it over, it don't matter. Okay, I'll bring the other one down then.
dry bale on here to seal it up, wrap up the end of the line. Everything we did.
Kind of left you guys hanging there. We got done wrapping and some friends show up. Actually, it's Frankie and Carol. They're going back to Arizona. So here's what we normally do with steaks, but we're doing burgers tonight. I think they're done. Let's get a plate. Should I pick you up in the morning? I'll pick you up tomorrow and we'll see what's cooking. How's that sound?
$150 for those 6 chairs
There's Carol.
at the table. Awesome. Well, not that chair. That's Matt's. What'd you say? Near death. But
No, it's hi to everybody. Morning. Well, we had a good time last night. Visiting with Carol and Frank, and Seth and Jackie. But let's put this on and see if, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But we are also leaving here in a minute. We're going to Minnesota. I got to pick up, well, I got a Facebook market find, and then we have supper. One of Sassy Pants' friends, or classmates from Alaska, is back home. So we kind of gathered up a few of the other classmates. We're all going to kind of get together. So anyways, how do you put these on? First, you got to make sure everything is not, Wyatt threw it off. And I wonder if we just had potentially maybe just a corn stalk or a piece of sorghum got stuck up in there. I mean, who knows? Stand by to stand by. Upon further review, here's the problem. The idler adjuster right there. Right here? Where are you at? Yeah, right here. She gone! So the bearing blew out of that thing. So I got to buy a new idler adjuster for a Chevy, 2002 Chevy 100. All right, folks, this is the end of her. Thanks for tuning in. I think I'm gonna wrap. I decided I'm gonna wrap that whole field, weather permitting. I'm gonna cut that whole field and wrap it. And I might chop another field. My neighbor, the old boy, he said, it's too much feed out there to just let her go to waste. You better get in a pile. So now he's getting me nervous. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.